good. I think we good. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the chat. We in here. We in here. We in here, man. Shout out to the chat. Ain't nothing but love. Shout out to the chat, man. Let's get the show started with no further ado. Oh, make sure I got this right. All right, y'all. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild, and this is episode 270. I want to thank y'all for tuning and tapping this special Sunday night episode. We're on every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30. So again, I appreciate your support each and every episode and keep engaged in those videos. I do drop videos daily. I've been seeing your comments and I do answer back in the comments, especially when your comments is on something. Even if I don't agree, I still show love in the comments. But obviously, if you say something that's out of pocket, I'm not going to respond, right? Or I just make them leave it all together. But again, shout out to y'all for showing major love. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're over 13,000 subscribers. Again, continue to like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. It does help with the growth of the show. Also, tap into the links. We also have a store where you can get merchandise, and the merchandise is top tier. So, again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in and take advantage of those memberships. Memberships get crazy, different things that you can take advantage as far as the page and off the page when it comes to upcoming shows, Instagram, all types of stuff. So again, check it out and take advantage, y'all. Shout out to the chat, man. Chat in here deep as always. Shout out to Hazel. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to King P. Shout out to Tremont. Shout out to Alana. I'm not gonna say everybody, but again, shout out to y'all. Those are some of our day ones. Big badge holders in the building. We got big badge holders. So again, I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in as well. King P had his badge for over 2 years. Shout out to King P in the building, y'all. Again, like, subscribe, share, hit that all notification bell. Do not be afraid to share the live. Again, show love, show love, show love, show love, show love. What we got going on here? All right, y'all. So let's get the show started. Let's get the show started. No further ado. Let's have some fun tonight. I want to thank the presenting sponsor of this podcast, which is Button Snap. So you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button hyphenated sign in the word snaps.com. Again, that's the word button hyphenated sign in the word snaps.com. First segment of the night, popular opinions. And remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. A stain is somebody that try to stand up by being negative. Have the ability to stand up by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture. Hate has a location. It's just not here. All right, y'all. First segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Make sure y'all stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise on Instagram at OUV Records. Make sure the label motto is create, document, and inspire. So make sure you stay in tune to OUV Records on Instagram. All right, get a better view. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Remember, y'all, these are not my questions. These are the world's questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. What was the first rap song to hit number one on Billboard Top 100 in 1990? What was the first rap song to hit? Excuse me. What was the first rap song to hit number one on the Billboard 100 chart in 1990? Number one, Nothing But a G Thing, Snoop Dogg. Number two, Hypnotize, The Notorious B.I.G. Number four, Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice. Number four, You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. Again, the question is, what was the first rap song to hit number one on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1990? Again, number one, Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, Snoop Dogg. Number two, Hypnotize by Biggie Smalls, The Notorious B.I.G. Number three, Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice. Number four, You Can't Touch This. You Can't Touch This. I said this right. You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Again, Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Me personally, all these songs is fire, all these songs are great, but the question is that, well, they specified 1990. 1990. So in 1990, automatically, I'm thinking MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice, maybe Snoop Dogg, but it felt like Snoop Dogg was more like 92, 93. I feel like Snoop Dogg was more 92, 93. That particular song, because that album came out 94-ish, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'm between Vanilla Ice and You Can't Touch This. I'm gonna go with You Can't Touch This. I'm gonna go with MC Hammer. Because I remember when I was a little kid, You Can't Touch This, MC Hammer was hot as fish grease, and your party wasn't a party unless you had some MC Hammer playing. I'm talking about the kids my age, little kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like under 10. Hottest thing popping is in 1990 to us as a little kid. So I'm gonna go with MC Hammer in the chat. In the chat, I'm seeing Snoop. I'm seeing what's number two? Snoop. No, that's Biggie. Nah, Biggie came out a little later. Biggie came out a little later. Shout out to Ebony. I'm seeing three Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice. Shout out to Cash in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Let's bring back the early 90s rap style. You know what's great about the early rap, excuse me. You know what's great about the 90s rap style is that it was just different. That's the only problem with today's rap. And I like today's rap. I think we got a lot of talented artists. The only thing is that everybody wants to be the same, right? That's why I pride myself on being different in my music. And anybody else that pride themselves on being different in their music, I gravitate to listening to their music. So I think we do have a lot of diversity, but I think obviously the people that get pushed in mainstream media, and it's just media, is the people that all sound the same, right? But that was the beautiful thing about the 90s, because obviously somebody like, or the groups in itself sound different. NWA, even though they was very, militant streetwise, they sound very different on how they went about it as far as like Public Enemy, right? It was just different. The style is different. KRS-One sound way different from LL Cool J. You see what I'm saying? Early Jay Z sound really different from Biggie Small. I don't even want to count Biggie because he came out a little later. Jay came out a little later, but those earlier acts in the 90s, they all sound different. So that's what made the 90s so special when it came to rap and MCing. So again, the question was, what was the first rap song to hit number one on the Billboard 100 chart in 1990? Again, it was nothing but a G thing. Snoop Dogg, Hypnotized, Notorious B.I.G., Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice, You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. I went with MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This. In the chat, it was a mix of answers. I've seen Ice Ice Baby, I've seen Snoop, also seen some Hypnotized. 59%. Mind you, 29,000 people voted on this. Went with, and it's the actual right answer. Went with Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. Why am I not surprised by that? Why? Again, when I hear 1990, and my answer should have been Vanilla Ice, because what I forgot that MC Hammer, even though he moved a lot of records, he moved a lot of units as an independent artist first. And it was the same song, but of course, same album. But of course, when they get on a major, they mix it again. They kind of remix it a little bit to master it a little differently, so that way when they put it on vinyl, which they did back in the day, the sound is a little different. But all in itself, MC Hammer sold a lot of units as an independent artist, a lot. So of course that don't go into his big numbers when he does sign. So I shouldn't be surprised that Vanilla Ice is a white guy who can rap. Or, at least at that time. You know what I mean? Like, so I shouldn't be surprised because Vanilla Ice was young. He was rapping, he was dancing. It was all the formula of being successful as a successful rapper. And of course, being like that mainstream, that was kind of new at the time. So some people say Vanilla Ice was a media plant. And maybe I could agree. I don't want to say maybe. I probably could agree with that because he got a lot of opportunities if he was just a brother, you know what I'm saying? But to be fair, the things that he did, it was successful. And this is why I say just because you're successful doesn't mean you're great. And just because you sell doesn't mean you're good. So again, no diss to Vanilla Ice, but again, off that one song, he was able to get movies. I remember he was on beach towels. I mean, he was hot as fish grease at one point too, and it was based off that formula, surrounding himself by the brothers and coming out with Ice Ice Baby. So again, 59% and 29,000 people voted on this. All went with Vanilla Ice, and they was absolutely right. Right. So that's a hip hop trivia. Vanilla Ice was the first rap song to hit number one Hot 100 in 1990. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. Favorite Damon Wayans movie on this list. Favorite Damon Wayans movie on this list. Number one, Mo Money. Number two, Bulletproof. Number three, The Last Boy Scout. Number four, Major Pain. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, favorite Damon Wayans movie on this list. Favorite Damon Wayans movie on this list. Number one, Mo Money. Number two, Bulletproof. Number three, The Last Boy Scout. Number four, Major Pain. Again, let me know what y'all think about this. I'd love to know what y'all think about this. Me personally, I love all these movies. There's a couple movies that's not on here that Damon Wayans was in or starred in that I thought was absolutely funny. But when I look at this list, I enjoy all these movies. I watch all of these movies several times. For me personally, it's kind of tough, but I gotta go with Bulletproof. Bulletproof, him, Adam Sandler, fire movie. A little clunky at the end, but still a fire, funny movie, action packed. You know, it was sexy because he had the sexy women in the movie, and they got their sexy scenes or whatever with the ladies in there. But it's a good time movie, and you can watch it whenever. You can watch it, on a date. You can watch it amongst friends. It's a good time every single time. So me personally, I have to go with Bulletproof. I thought Bulletproof was a fire movie, and the storyline is just excellent. Mo Money is funny as hell. I love the twist in Mo Money as well. Uh, Major Pain is absolutely funny, but I feel like Major Pain is a little overrated in my opinion. I think it's a funny movie, but it's a bit overrated. I don't think it's his best movie at all. Um, the Last Boy Scout, a very underrated movie. I'm seeing The Last Boy Scout in the chat. I am seeing Major Pain in the chat, but I'm seeing The Last Boy Scout and Major Pain. But The Last Boy Scout was fire though. That's a fire movie again. Just a tad bit clunky. Somewhere in the third act. The ending of that second and third act is a bit clunky, but it's still a good movie, still a good time. So me personally, again, I'm going with Bulletproof. Again, the chat, excuse me, I'm going with Bulletproof. The chat, y'all went with mix between The Last Boy Scout and Major Pain. 37% mind job of over 111,000 people voted on this. Went with number four, Major Pain. I'm not mad at that. Major Pain is a good movie. It's a funny movie. Um, it has aged decently, and it's a funny movie, right? I love the part at the end when he comes back. The kids is marching, JRTC, and they killing it. They busting out their cadence, and it was lit, right? But yeah, I don't agree with the rest of the world, but it is what it is. Again, I said my bid for obviously Bulletproof, The Last Boy Scout. Mo Money is a good movie. I really like Mo Money as well too. But the rest of the world said Major Pain, so I'm not mad at that. Shout out to my dog fam in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. One of my day ones in the building. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the world. That's a fact. I don't celebrate none of the holidays at all. Me personally, I don't. They all fake holidays. But for those of y'all that do, yo, happy Father's Day to y'all. Fathers, we don't get the love and the shine that we deserve. We get I don't want to go into. I don't want to make it morbid, but again, shout out to the fathers that really put on, that really raise their kids, that make sure that their kids get what they need, and making sure that they raise them to be adults that can take care of themselves. Because there's nothing worse than to have a child over a certain age and they still act like a child, live like a child, think like a child. See what I'm saying? So shout out to all the real fathers out there. Even though I just don't celebrate none of the holidays. I had an ex that she wasn't even my ex. She wanted to be my girl, and it was so funny. I said, "Yo, I don't celebrate no holidays." She was like, "For real?" I said, "I don't celebrate jack shit. I don't celebrate nothing." And she was like, "Not even Mother's Day." No, ladies, I'm not gonna celebrate no holidays, but I'm gonna celebrate Mother's Day. So if I show you the type of love and care for you that I have, mind you, if we have kids, the kids are supposed to show you that type of energy. You ain't my mother, so you just gonna have to just be cool with that one. You know what I'm saying? I take care of everything else. You just got to hold that on the chin. Just let that be. But she was just like just uneasy. I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. If you worry about stuff like holidays, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Me, I'm very big on family though. I love spending time with my family, people that I feel like are my family. Relatives is two different things. You can't choose your relatives, but you can choose your family. And people that show your boy love, I show them love back, and I treat them, and they are my family. So I'm very big on family, spending time with my family. I just don't believe in these man-made holidays. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, we got the whole 362 days to show each other love, and today it gotta be so again, I don't want to make it more big, but again, shout out to all the fathers out there, for real. Shout out to all the fathers out there, hold it down. And for some of the fathers that's having a hard time for their BMs, hey, yo, just think smarter, not harder. Think smarter, not harder. All right, for all the fathers that going through it with their BM, think smarter, not harder. All right, pause. That's not coming crazy at them, but you get what I'm saying, y'all. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment, our barbershop talk. Barbershop talk for this episode. The question is moving out the hood a real flex or nah? Is moving out the hood a real flex or nah? Let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. I would love to know your answers on this. Is moving out the hood a real flex or nah? Shout out to my dog fan, Father's Day. Mother's Day is every day. Facts. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show love every day. You know what I mean? What I will say this though, before I get into back into barbershop talk, what I will say about this, the enthusiasm for Father's Day and for Mother's Day, that, again, that's what I'm saying. Like this, all this shit is made up, right? And nobody, like, people choose to care what they want to care about. When I was in the store for Mother's Day, I'm getting some groceries. You got balloons. You got this festivities for Mother's Day. Oh yeah, Father's Day. I just ran into the store to get some, a little hot milk, in the grocery store, and it was dead in there, baby. It was no balloons. It was no, special thing for what. It was trash. Like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. So at the end of the day, it operates differently. It operates different, and I think mainly because people know that the women in your life, your mama, your grandma, big auntie, they can hit on them heartstrings a little bit. You gonna go buy them a card or a balloon or some candy or something, you know what I'm saying, for Father's Day, because most men, we don't ask for much, you know what I'm saying, we like, damn, but hey, man, I appreciate you coming in my mother, dog, I appreciate that, I appreciate you raising me, too, you kept the lights on, kept clothes on my back, kept food on my table, like, damn, shit, you could have, you know what I'm saying, you could have let loose on the floor, or in a napkin, you chose to come to my mother, so, so fathers don't really get the appreciation, and we don't even push for it either. We just We just let it rock, yo. We just let it rock because society just let us rock, right? All right, so barbershop talk again is moving out the hood a real flex. Is moving out the hood a real flex. Me personally, I'm gonna go hell yeah, hell yeah. When I mean, I made $2. I made $2. You know what I'm saying? When I made $2, I got the hell up out the hood. I got the hell up out the hood. Moved to a different part of Brooklyn. Nice part of Brooklyn. Yeah. Now, did I always make my way back to the hood? Yeah, because that's the foundation, and we had an office in the neighborhood. But at the end of the day, when it comes to living situations, yes, when I made $1 $2, I got myself and my family up out the neighborhood and moved to a nicer part of Brooklyn, for sure. For sure, that is a real flex. The whole purpose in life is to do better. To me, it just doesn't make sense to put yourself in an area that's underserving. Underserving meaning that they don't have the same type of things that they have in the neighborhood, right? When you go to different neighborhoods, they got everything more healthy things, and you don't have to worry about certain things at night in your neighborhood, gunshots and people getting robbed. People can actually walk to the bus stop without getting accosted and things like that. When you grow up in the neighborhood, you do grow up with that. Always got to be ready, always got to stay ready. So moving out the neighborhood is a definite flex. It's a definite flex, me personally. And then when I got the opportunity to move out of New York, I did that ASAP. I did that ASAP. I remember taking the vacation and then going on tour and then coming back and telling all my family and friends, yo, I'm moving out. I'm moving out of New York City. They like, "You lying. Dude, I'm moving. I just came back from vacation and I went on tour right after that. Yo, and I saw the world and I realized I don't have to live in New York. I'm out. It's better quality of life in different places. I'm out. It's a definite flex. And what's very scary is that most people who become successful and stay in the neighborhood, somehow, some way, they find themselves in situations that could have been avoided if they just wasn't there. Because if you really understand ascending and ascension is not really you, it's other people. And what that means is when you do better and you know better, other people will treat you as. Meaning perception is reality. So when people feel like you got something, you allow something, and you choose not to, you choose not to exhaust it. Like, yo, why are you here? Why are you here? Like, you're doing this, you're doing that. You should be going somewhere. You should be over on this side. And people could have that type of energy towards you. And guess what? It could work in it won't work in your benefit. How many rappers we have heard that went back to their neighborhood just to chill or, just to do that or want to be all up on a block after or them ascending and becoming successful? They end up losing their life because of somebody's hate, somebody's energy. There's always going to be a hater. There's always somebody going to say something real slick about you, you doing well. So, me personally, it's an absolute flex on being able to move out the neighborhood, in my opinion. Shout out to Fam in the building. Shout out to Ebony. It's a massive flex. People who call it selling out just want you to be stuck in the struggle with them. They promote Mother's Day more than Father's Day. When you use commercials for Father's Day, it's a tool. That's true though. That's true. It's a tool. Yeah, they promote tools for Father's Day. We still got to do something around Father's Day, right? Yes, it's a flex for a better surviving for you and your family. Facts. It's a massive flex. People who call it selling out just want to be stuck. Okay, so I got all right, so I got that one. I got that one. So yeah, so at the end of the day, when you look at these things all in itself, when it comes to leaving your neighborhood, it's a massive flex. Why wouldn't you want better for your children? Why wouldn't you want better for your parents who they can move in with you when you go to the new neighborhood, right? We didn't grow up like this, but damn, like we in a neighborhood now where we can actually like park our cars and we don't have to struggle for the parking spot, or you might just get a home that has its own parking space. You got grass, you may have a half an acre or a quarter acre, something like that, or you move into a nice apartment building, right? You got a what they call a doorman, and the place is just nice, it's immaculate, right? So, and then the neighborhood is also reflective of the income of the neighborhood, because most times when you live in a nice neighborhood and the income reflects it, so does the living space. If you notice people that make a decent income, they don't want to live in a space where it's like a whole bunch of stuff on the floor and it's not well kept. So again, it's a massive flex. The whole purpose is to do better in life. That's the whole purpose. That's the real flex. So me personally, I'm gonna say it's a massive flex. Some people online, and you even hear some celebrities say that that's not a real flex. A real flex is buying back your block. That's a flex as well. If you're buying back your block and you're able to upgrade the block, not buying back your block to do what? To do what? For it to stay the same? No, the flex is to upgrade it. Meaning we all want to do better. We all want to live better. We all want certain stores in our neighborhood that are healthy when it comes to food and things in our neighborhoods, things for us to do just to pass the time. Go to the movies, go bowling, go skating, or have some sort of interactive thing they have for the kids or something to keep them out of trouble. We all want that. Safe parks for the kids as well, a place to work out. We all want that. So when they say buy back the block, do it the right way in that elk. So it kills me when people just say that all in itself. Shout out to Ebony, securing the credit score and the down payment. Leave unfunded area is a financial victory, period. I agree. I definitely agree. So again, y'all, appreciate y'all. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And that was the barbershop talk for this episode. Moving on to our next segment, our must-see segment, our Eddie Murphy Awards. I call it the Eddie Murphy Awards because Eddie Murphy is he's the most important actor we've had in this generation, in my opinion. So I'm gonna name 3 fire movies that you must see, and that's why I call it the Eddie Murphy Awards. A shout out to my dog Fam, my grandpa, been in Oakland since 1942. Wow. He moved to East Oakland in 1960. He don't want to move out of Oakland. He's used to being there. Shit, that's 1960, bro. 1960. When I lived somewhere for about 8, 9 years, I don't want to move south. We talking about 1960, bro. What's that? 40? No, that's 40, 50. Damn, that's 60. That's 66 years, bro. He ain't going nowhere. He chilling. He don't, he don't care about none of that. He like, yo, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. So I get that, but more so in terms of when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, when you're in your early 50s, when you have a chance to really upgrade your life, you want to do it, especially in living space. When you're in your 60s and 70s, and if your grandfather been in Oakland for 60 years, I would guess that he's somewhere. If he's been in Oakland since 1941, I would guess that he was. My grandpa been in Oakland since 1941, so I would guess that he's probably born in like 1930. I would guess somewhere with like he probably moved to Oakland when he was 11. He's 107 now. Wow. Wow. So imagine he's 66 years in one spot. He chilling. He ain't going nowhere. He 107 on top of that. Yeah, nah, we cool here. You know what I'm saying? Like the upgrade in life was Oakland at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I mean? But y'all get the point that I'm making. When you of that age of, like I said, 20, 30, 40, early 50s, and you get a chance to upgrade your life in living space and living situations to make it easier for you in ambiance. Me personally, I'm an ambiance type of person. I have to have the ambiance around me personally. Um, you're going to make that change, and it's a big flex. It's not a flex to me buying $1,500, $2,500 belts or $900 sneakers. That's not a flex to me. That's not a flex to me. A real flex is being able to upgrade your lifestyle on a day to day. To me, that's a real flex. Not just for yourself, but for your family, giving your family a real advantage. A real advantage. So to me, that's the bigger flex, in my opinion. He was born in 1919. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a blessing to have that man around this long. That's a blessing. And I think we shouted out your grandfather too not too long ago. That's a blessing, man. So I'll tell your grandpops, man. Hit the like, y'all. Hit the 100s. It definitely helps with the growth of the show. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We're over 13,000. So again, continue to show that love. So my first Eddie Murphy Award movie that y'all must see came out in 1987, directed by Joseph Sargent. This movie stars Lorraine Gray, Michael Caine, Lance Guest, Mario Van Peebles, Judith Barcy, and Karen Young. This movie is called Jaws: The Revenge. Fire must see movie about a big, great white shark. Part two. He's on a tear. I won't spoil it. Make sure y'all tap into the movie. Fire, bona fide movie to tap into. Second must-see movie and my second Eddie Murphy Award came out in 1991, directed by William Dare. This movie stars Richard Grieco, Linda Hunt, Roger Reese, and Robin Bartlett. This movie is called If Looks Can Kill. Fire must-see movie. I remember when I was a kid, I just enjoyed this movie about a kid who was having trouble in high school. He didn't get a chance to graduate. In order for him to graduate, he had to watch the rest of the movie. I told y'all I'm not spoiling this for y'all at all. Make sure y'all tap in to see If Looks Can Kill. And my third final Eddie Murphy Award movie came out in 2005. This movie is directed by Judd Apatow. This movie stars Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, Catherine Keener, Romney Malco, and Elizabeth Banks. This movie is called The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Fire must-see movie. It's crazy. About two of my cousins I spoke to the other day said they've never seen this movie. How? Like, what was y'all born again? Like, like automatically, like that was my immediate question. Like, yo, what was y'all born again? And they never seen this movie. It is a must-see movie, obviously, about a 40-year-old man who's having issues with the opposite sex, and you have to watch the rest of the movie. It is a comedy, and I'm telling you, it's a must-see movie. So again, my three Eddie Murphy award goes to Jaws, The Revenge, number one. Number two, It Looks Can Kill. Number three, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Make sure y'all tap in to see all of these must-see movies. Shout out, he was born in Richmond. Murphy, Eddie Murphy Awards is Rosewood. Murphy Awards is Rosewood. I don't think I've ever mentioned Rosewood. I might have. I might have mentioned Rosewood. Rosewood is one of those movies. It's actually a very entertaining movie. The subject matter, though, is very tough. It's a very hard watch based on the subject matter, but it's a very easy watch based on the entertainment because it hits a lot of different notes in a movie. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever seen Rosewood, so yeah, shout out to Ebony, classic movie. Some of the funniest movie scenes ever. Yeah, these movies y'all have to check out if you haven't seen it. It just blew my mind that the other day I spoke to my cousins. They never seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin, so make sure y'all tap into into those movies. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our must hear segment. Our Michael Jackson Award segment. Y'all know how I do, whether it's new or old, whether it's hip hop and R&B. I'm gonna give y'all some fire music to tap into. Tonight is a switch. I'm doing reggae. I'm doing reggae tonight. I grew up on reggae, honestly. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Believe it or not, hip hop and pop and any other music genre don't run Brooklyn. It's reggae music, whether it's calypso, dancehall, the different genres of reggae music. It's reggae music in Brooklyn. So again, whether it's new or old, I'm gonna give y'all some fire music. So tonight's episode, my first Michael Jackson award goes to the rhythm. If y'all know rhythms, let's call rhythms. If y'all know rhythms, then y'all know what I'm about to say. So if you don't know it, tap into it. All right. So this is called the Filthy Rhythm. Right. The Filthy Rhythm. First, Michael Jackson award goes to the artist and the song. Right. Lady G, Breeze Off. Right. That's the first Michael Jackson award. Again, Lady G, Breeze Off. My second Michael Jackson award for the Filthy Rhythm is Spraga Benz, She Not Ready Yet. My third Michael Jackson award goes to, again, Filthy Rhythm, Mr. Vegas, Heads High. So make sure y'all tap into these songs, fire must have songs. You will not go to a Brooklyn party and not hear these rhythms. These rhythms been out since forever, but they are fire. It either takes the party. It always takes the party to the next level, in my opinion. It's just it just gets you right. If you there to have a good time, you there to dance, you there to meet the opposite sex, I'm telling you, Filthy Rhythm again. My first Michael Jackson award goes to again Lady G, Breeze Off. Second Michael Jackson award goes to Sparkle Dance, She Not Ready Yet. And my third Michael Jackson award goes to Mr. Vegas, Heads High. So make sure y'all tap into those rhythms and tap into those songs. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Hey man, y'all already know we're about to book them flights. It's been crazy at the airport. But we're gonna send them to Turkey or nah, send them to Turkey or nah. Y'all know the rules of the game. We type in T to send it to Turkey, or we type in N not to send it to Turkey. So let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. And for those who don't know, when people say and do crazy things, we send them to Turkey. It was an inside joke in the show that, we just send people to Turkey when they do stupid stuff. All right, y'all. First one of the night. Viral video of a woman canceling her Uber ride during the ride in itself. She felt like she didn't have to pay for it because she's on her way to getting married. Uh, the Uber driver put her out and say, "Hey, you gotta call yourself another driver." But she was hoping that the Uber driver would just continue to drive with it. Like she don't feel like she gotta pay for it because she's on her way to get married. Then she gets upset and say, "Yo, just take me there. My husband will pay for it." Hey, if you ever drove an Uber, it don't work like that. So again, a viral video of a woman canceling her Uber ride during the ride because she felt like she didn't have to pay for it because she was on her way to getting married, obviously on her wedding day, and because she's a bride. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Are we sending her to Turkey or nah? Again, let me know what y'all think about this in the chat. Me personally, when I first watched it, I kind of thought it was like like one of those fake skit type of things that go viral, and everybody swore up and down that this wasn't a skit. Everybody swore up and down. I'm like, this has to be a skit because when people are older, and this lady wasn't a spring chicken, she was somewhere in her 40s. You've rode Uber before. You know the rules of Uber. You know you can't cancel no ride during no ride, yo. You can't do that. You just can't do that. They're gonna kick you out every single time. They don't care if you at the side of an ocean, at the side of despair, whether you're in the middle of nowhere. Hey, guess what? Don't cancel no ride with Uber when you're in the ride and you're trying to be slick. If this thing is true, because again, I kept thinking that it was a skit, and they were saying that it really is not a skit. So at the end of the day, she's wrong. I'm sending her all the way to Turkey. First class ticket to take the Uber to the damn plane. You going to Turkey. Because no way in your right mind, which was kind of fishy on the first part, when you're getting married, You take a cab to get married in your wedding dress? Okay, cool. You want me to believe that? Okay, cool. You take the Uber? Okay, cool, right? You don't get the good Uber. You don't get the Uber XL. Okay, cool. Y'all want to keep it, economy, save your money for, or economic, excuse me. You want to save your money for the honeymoon or whatever the case may be, or the marriage. Cool, right? If you're worried about time, when you're getting married, you're not worrying about paying for no Uber ride. You just pay for the ride if you need the ride. You don't cancel it trying to be slick and try to play on somebody's emotional heartstrings. That, like, all right, cool. Since you get married, I'm just going to drop you off for free. Where do you think you at? Uber's not the same as the dollar cab. Dollar cab back in the day, hey man, you get how you live if you can pull it off. But Ubers don't play that. They don't play that. Whether it's Lyft or Uber, it's a different type of business. So the fact that she thought she could pull this off is crazy. And if I'm her husband, I kind of don't want to marry you now. You put our wedding at jeopardy because you don't want to have to pay for your Uber ride. And like, honestly, if I'm your husband, I'm going to give you the money to make sure that you can take the cab to the Uber. I mean, take the cab to the to wherever we getting married to. But if I don't, and you say, okay, baby, I got it, this is the judgment that you pull on our wedding day because you feel so you're led by emotions. This is going to give me an insight on what the marriage is going to be for the future. So if I'm the husband, hey man, hey, hey, this is a red flag, and she kind of doing you a favor by showing you behavior that's not becoming of a wife. I'm just saying, like, me personally, I look at people's behavior, and if the behavior is not going to be up to par, what you think she gonna do in the marriage? She gonna be a whole mess. So me personally, yeah, I'm sending her the turkey, dog. I'm damn sure sending her the turkey. Shout out to Ebony. This has to be scripted skit. Nobody is actually that this delusional in real life, right? Please. Nobody's that delusional in real life, right? Please tell me if I'm right. Everybody swore up and down that it wasn't a skit. They swore up and down. So, because I thought it was. I feel like I was being punked. And the driver, he was like, yo, you ain't getting no freebies. Like, what you talking about? Um, my Michael Jackson award is Damian Marley. Welcome to Jam Rock. That's a fire one too. A bit commercial, but that's a fire joint. Morgan Heritage down by the rival. Lady Saw, Love is Blind. That's a fire joint right there. When you wonder, no let it go. Another fire joint right there that gets the party rocking. Some commercial joints would definitely get the party rocking. Send her the turkey. I'm right there with you, bro. Shout out to the driver for immediately unlocking the doors and telling her to hop out. Know your worth. Facts. Facts. And you know how I hate that know your worth thing because people always say, yeah, I'm gonna stay, I'm gonna stay single because I know my worth. Your worth is what other people are willing to pay for it. And that's in everything. That's relationships. That's in business. If you're a woman and you say you know your worth, don't lean on that. Because knowing your worth is having somebody that would do the things that's becoming of making your life better. And if there's nobody that's going to do it, then that's your worth. The same thing in business. When you say, hey, I know my worth, if nobody's paying you for what you're asking for this service, then that's not your worth. It goes for business and in relationships. Your worth is what other people are willing to pay for it. That's your worth. NBA players, right? NBA players, their worth is what other people is willing to pay for it based on their talent. Maybe not so much people talent, expectations, and all that within sports, right? What you did or what you're gonna do. all that within sports, right? But your worth is what other people is willing to pay for it. Is the bottom line of what I'm saying. So shout out to Ebony for that. That's a fact. That's a fact. The driver was like, "Yo, get up out my car, because there's gonna be somebody else that's willing to pay the price of my services." Right. Perfect wording and know your worth in that mantra. Yeah, so definitely shout out to that driver. He was not playing, and that lady just completely bugging. I don't get how people are so emotional based when they're making decisions. I don't understand how that is. To be very effective, you have to make decisions with removing the emotional part of it. Once you're able to do that and you see things for what it is, you get a whole lot further in life and realize majority of this stuff is not personal. So I shout out again to that driver. Shout out again to that driver. All right, y'all, moving on to our next. Send them the turkey or no, send them the turkey or no. Again, the rules of the game, we type in T to send it to turkey, or we type in not to send it to turkey. Another woman goes viral after tattooing a New York Knicks logo on her face. Again, another woman goes viral for tattooing the New York Knicks logo on her face, obviously after the New York Knicks have won the NBA Finals championship in the NBA for 2026. Let me know what y'all think about this. That in the chat. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Shout out to Ebony. It's the groom. If the groom sees this, he needs to run before they sign that marriage certificate. Major red flag, right? Right? Fact. Shout out to Ebony. She cooking in the chat, man. Shout out to Ebony. Day one, man. Shout out to fam. Just like Chinese taxis, drivers back in the day. No money, no ride. Right, yo, no bread, no Breznet, no ride. No Breznet, no ride. It's just that simple. And it makes sense because somebody else is going to pay me for my ride, for me getting you to point A to point B. Just that simple. It's just that simple. But I think because I grew up on the dollar van and $2 van or the $1 cab. At first, it was the $1 cab, $2 cab. Then it was the $1 van, the $1.50 van, $2 van. Right? I grew up on that. For those who don't know, in New York City, in Brooklyn, you could get you a dollar cab. Well, back in the day, you get you a dollar cab. It'll take you fairly a decent way, and this is $1. You know what I'm saying? A good hustle, right? If you see 1,000 people a day, hey, you make about $1,000 driving a cab, right? Then they had the $2 vans, the $1 vans, and again, whatever your ride is, let's say if you had to go from Kings Plaza all the way to downtown Brooklyn, like right before Fulton Street, right before because they can't drive down a certain lane. So they get to the last stop basically on Flatbush Ave, and you can get out, and that's still $1 or $1.50 or $2. Still a good ride right there. We don't live in them times anymore. You gotta pay what you owe, dog. That's just how it rolls. Shout out to my dog CC in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in, my guy. Hit them likes, hit them 100s. You already know. And it helps with the growth of the show, man. Don't forget to share the live, y'all. Share the live. And again, I appreciate it. We're on episode 270. We're on every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30. And we're also doing a special Tuesday night episode this week for the NBA draft. Special Tuesday night episode. So make sure y'all tune in on Tuesday night as well too. And of course we're doing Wednesday night, regular, viewing show. So again, so a lady went viral for tattooing the New York Knicks logo on her face after the New York Knicks won the finals. Again, I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Me personally, you're gone too far. This is too far. This is too far. I get it. I get team spirit. I get being a prisoner of the moment. I get, it's been 53 years. I get like, like the city is just It's vibrant, it's cool, it's popping, it's peaceful, it's turned up. I get it. I get it. But damn, tattoos, yo, like it's a tattoo on your face. On your face. And you're a lady, like that. Tattoos on the face for ladies. It really depends what type of tattoo and basically where it's at. Uh, I'm, I'm not a fan of tattoos on the face for women, me personally. But some women have pulled tattoos on the face off. I will say that some women have pulled it off. But it's not my preference personally. But if I meet somebody and they have a tattoo on their face and it looks good on them, I'm not going like that's not a make or break for me if it looks good on them. You know what I'm saying? But for her to get this on her face, on her cheek, I seen the video. I was like, damn, that's a bit much. I will say that to me, that's a bit much in my opinion. But I get it. I get it. I get it. The city is rocking. Everybody's Knicks right now. I get it. But yo, that's a bit. That's a bit committed. That's a bit rabbitish. That's a bit next level fan craze type of thing. Um, and that's not a good investment. But hey, man, people gonna do their thing. I gotta send her to Turkey. I'm sending her to Turkey based on that. I'm sending her ass to Turkey. That's a Turkey move. I respect it a little bit, but on the other side, it's like, yo, what you doing? And it kind of lets me know the rest of your life is not for real. Like it's you got a jokey existence. Like people can't take you serious in business, in the business world. You got a New York Knicks tattooed right on your face, on the cheek of your face. Like how people take it. If you work in the business world, 9 to 5, you have a career. How can people trust you with their account with a New York Knicks tattoo on your face? Come on now. Now some people say it don't get no more New York than New York Knicks. It do. But the point of the matter is, I get the fandom. I get that. But to me, that is crazy. It just lets me know the rest of your life is jokes. It's jokes. Because there's no way you have a career working with other people and you depend on a company to make your money. Now, it's totally different if you have a career and a business that you run on your own. And hey, man, it is what it is, right? But me personally, that just let me know the rest of rest of your existence and your world is jokes. Because ain't nobody gonna take you different. If I go to the bank and my bank, my banker has a tattoo of the New York Knicks on their face, of any team. It's not just the Knicks, it's just the fact that you got a tattoo of a team on your face. I won't take you serious. You could have the New England Patriots, the Michigan, well, Michigan is my team. If you had the Michigan Wolverines tattoo, if you had the Kansas City Chiefs, these are all my teams, the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not going to look at you like a serious individual. I have to be honest. That just looks crazy. I get the fandom, but hey, man, like you're gone too far. You're gone too far. Shout out to the chat. If she wants to put the New York Knicks on her face, if she wants to put, I thought you was gonna go somewhere else with this. That's why I stopped reading it. I if she wants to put the New York, if she wants to put New York on her face, she got to she got the life she got to live the rest of her life not to Turkey. Okay. He said not to Turkey. She got to live with it for the rest of her life. For some reason, I thought you was gonna go somewhere else when you start. I thought for some reason, because I didn't finish it at first. For some reason, I thought you was about to say if she wanted the New York Knicks on her face, all she gotta do is go to a game. Like that's why I thought you was gonna go to that. Like that's what I thought you was going with that. So that's why I stopped reading that. I give it 6 months before she's looking for the cost of tattoo laser packages. That's funny. That's funny. Shout out to Ebony. Shout out to Ebony and fam cooking in the chat. Cooking in the chat. Love that engagement, man. Shout out to again to Ebony
and fam in the building. Ashley is mad because he didn't get Brooklyn Nets on his face before she got the New York Knicks. Nah, man. Again, if my Nets won, I'm still not getting no tattoo of the Nets on my body. I'm a super duper Nets fan, but that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am kind of tight that y'all won the chip before us because I used to make fun of y'all all the time. That your management is trash, is one of the worst franchise in the history of the NBA. I still stand on that. But I have to give y'all props this year and moving forward because in the past 4 or 5 years, y'all made serious moves and y'all really built y'all team. I'm being serious when I say like I'm actually giving props to the Knicks. Like like it they really built their team and they really went after the championship. So I gotta give them props for this. But at the end of the day, I'm not getting a tattoo of the Brooklyn Nets on my face. Even if let's say we win the championship in 4 years, I'll be hyped. I'll be talking my shit. But at the end of the day, I'm not getting no tattoo nowhere near on my body of the Brooklyn Nets. Not the Brooklyn Nets, not the Chiefs, not the Michigan Wolverines. No team that I love. No. The only things that's tattooed on my body is my brother, my daughter, my the way that I live my life and how I see life. Next tattoo I might get, I want to get my mother's childhood picture on my face. I want to get my mother's childhood picture, her face, on my chest. You know what I'm saying? So I might do that. But other than that, yeah, no teams on my body, especially my face, for sure. Shout out to uh, fan Brooklyn Nets. Give you season tickets every game. Would you get on your face? Hell no. If they gave me season tickets to every game for the next 30 years, and on top of that, because remember, I don't live in Brooklyn, right? I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, but I moved to Florida. If they say, yo, 40 games out the year, 42 games out the year, we're gonna fly you out from Orlando to Brooklyn, front court seats, the full package on getting everything, all that. But you got to get a tattoo right on the face. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Not happening. Committing your entire left cheek to James Dolan franchise is a wild gamble. That's a fact. It's still Dolan. That's still Dolan right there. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the worst poorly ran franchises in NBA history. Let's be honest here. And this is why people are so geeked. This is why the fans are going so crazy because they never seen this. They never seen the Knicks being ran actually well. They never seen the players play so well as a team and really had a chance and really actually won. This is a first. So this is why you're going to see New Yorkers go crazy. And I told y'all how this is going to go. It was going to be Gotham City in the first 48 hours, maybe 72 hours. Then you're going to see it turn up. Then you're going to see peace. Shit that used to be beast for real. Like, yo, I'm really not that mad anymore, bro. Like, whatever. I'm telling you, that's how it's going to be. And you've seen it so far, right? You seen the first night when they won. It looked like the purge, right? After it was Gotham City. They still turning up. They still walking around with they put no, that was the first night, and then it got cool, right? Then they had the parade, and now you just see people smiling and peace and kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? So again, I said that this was gonna happen. I said it. I said it. But again, that lady, I'm sending her all the way to Turkey for getting a tattoo on her face of the New York Knicks. Like I said, it could have been any team, but the fact that she did that is crazy. All right, y'all, moving on to our next segment. Looking at that watch, it's about that time. Cinnamon turkey, or excuse me, it's time to wrap. This segment brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. That's the word button, hyphenated sign, and the word snaps.com. First hot topic of the night. Former NFL player Brandon Marshall is facing backlash over his parenting skills after he made his son run in the middle of the street at 2 a.m. while he was in the car riding next to him as he was running in the street or jogging. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. 1970 New York Knicks won, 1973 and 2026 one. Yeah, I mean, again, New York Knicks is one of the oldest teams in the NBA, and it's very poorly ran for a long time. When you look at the Lakers, you look at the Boston Celtics, who've been around for a long time. Look how competitive they always looking to be, right? Because their brand is winning. The New York Knicks brand is not about winning. The New York brand is about being like a big logo. Same thing with like the Dallas Cowboys. It's about the logo, the logo, the logo, right? It's not necessarily about winning, you know. So, but again, like I gave props to the Knicks recently for doing great things in the management and with the with player personnel. So again, I'm not a hater, so I have to give them their credit. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Former NFL player Brandon Marshall facing backlash over his parenting style after making his son run 2 a.m. in the morning while he's driving his car next to him. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. He said time to wrap. Yeah, so shout out to Ebony. He's right beside him in the truck, not putting his hands on them and facing accountability. Better a late night run than the prison system. I could definitely respect that. I've seen people that really was going in on the fact that they just didn't agree with that. They just felt like it was too harsh. It felt like like what are you really teaching him? If he messes up, you make him get up and go run 2 a.m. in the morning. And I have to disagree with a lot of those people that was speaking against Brandon Marshall. When you're raising boys, and this is very important for women to hear, when you have a man in your life, get the fuck out the way. Now, I know there's women that have raised boys on their own, and some have done an outstanding job. Some have done a terrible job. Some it's in the middle, right? Cool. Was very important that a young boy understand that there's something bigger and badder than him. And it's another thing, and the reason why that's important, that something is bigger and badder than him, before I go on to my next point, it gives a sense of discipline that's needed for boys to grow mentally, physically, and emotionally. When boys are around their mothers, and and I mean around their mothers a lot. They're going to deal with a lot of situations emotionally. Women, y'all are emotional. We're not going to go back and forth with that fact. You're emotional, okay? And that works for women. You can be emotional. You could play in the gray. Young men have to understand that you can't play in the gray. It's either black or white. So what do that mean in the face of parenting? Get the fuck out the way. Let that father give that boy the reality that he needs to be a better version of himself as he's getting older now. Because once he gets to 15, 16, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. He's teaching him now, hey, there's something greater than you. And you can push yourself to be better. But guess what? In life, there's consequences. Just because you're emotional, it won't get you out of the prison system because you was led by emotion. They won't send you home because you was led by emotion. You're going to jail. You're going to lose your life, or you're going to lose the opportunity. That's why that matters. And this goes for all different races too. Get the fuck out the way when men are teaching their sons lessons, even when it's harsh, even if it's an ass whooping, even if it's making him wake up at 2 a.m. to go run a mile. This will teach him something lifelong. You know what? As harsh as it seems, he won't do it again. That young man won't be looking forward to getting up at 2 a.m. on a random day to go run a mile in the middle of the night. Mind you, his father's right next to him, so ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm pretty sure Brandon Marshall live in a nice neighborhood, 2 a.m. in the middle of the street, ain't nobody outside. This is a lesson well learned for regardless of whatever he's done. He could have been talking crazy to the mother. He could have been talking crazy to Brandon Marshall. Whatever it takes for that young man or young men as a whole to understand there's something greater than you if you are led by emotion, and you can end up unalive, you can end up in jail, or you can end up on losing opportunity. And the reason why I say women could play in the grave because women, y'all could be led by emotion and people will give you grace. That's the double standard that y'all get. If you're led by emotion and you do something that's crazy, most people say, "Hey man, come on man, you know how women be. Come on man, like that's a mother man. Come on man, you know how wives get. Come on man, you know how your girl be." It's grace to the emotion. Even if a woman stabbed her boyfriend a couple times in a heated argument, bro, you know how women get, bro. You shouldn't have smacked her, bro. Like she stabbed you, you gotta take that on the chin and keep it pushing. No, you shouldn't. But nobody should be putting their hands on nobody. But the point that I'm making is that there's grace given to women, the double standard, when they're emotional. Young men, when they see that, they think they could use that gameplay, and they can't. It is something that's going to be against their better interests as they get older. Because as they get older, women are going to have less grace for a young man that gets emotional over a situation that doesn't reflect on being emotional. And for women, y'all could turn it off and on. Young boys, it's a behavior that they will mimic, and as they get older, it's going to be a part of their personality. This is why that matters. This is why it matters when when a father is teaching a son a lesson, regardless if it's harsh, get the fuck out the way. Let him do what he's supposed to do. Because this makes him a better person as far as the son is concerned. It'll make him a better son. And overall, it will make him a better person of what he needs to be emotionally, physically, and just having that understanding in life. Shout out to Ebony. Also, I got that one, Ebony. Yeah, he's right. Besides him, he's right. He's right beside him in the truck, not putting hands on him and teaching accountability. Better late night run than the prison system. My dog fan, big facts. Preach Ashley to the people. Nah, I'm serious. Like at the end of the day, you have to let fathers be a father. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Growing up, I definitely would try my mother. Definitely, I would try. My mother had like a nice little three-hand combo. I will say that, but it was nothing scarier than I'm gonna tell your father. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Now you speaking violence. Like I can eat the combo. You know what I'm saying? I can take the three combo and go to my room and keep it cool. But you talking about who? Nah, wait a minute. Like, let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Like that was her trump card. I'm gonna tell you, father. Let's talk about this. We could do this a little bit more diplomatic here. You know what I'm saying? That man heavy handed and he kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that type of energy in our life. When you watch Rocky 2, and the dude was like, yo, I see you beat a man like I never seen a man get beat before. And the man kept coming. We don't need that type of man. You know what I'm saying? My pops is like, yo, he was wild. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? Then I used to put if you love me like that, Ma, you ain't gonna call my father. You can't pull that on me. I'm like, damn. My brother tried that already. Damn. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing scarier than I'm gonna tell your daddy. Yes. So, ladies, in this situation, if you're in a situation where you have a son, let the fathers teach him that harsh lesson that he needs, because you don't want it to be repeated behavior. And you don't want it to go on for so long. After a certain age, it's too late. It's too late, because there's a certain part of the age where a young man can learn how to respect another man. He has no choice but to respect mama or women. You ain't gonna want that. You want that nipped in the bud early as possible. So get out the way. So I agree with Brandon Marshall for making his son run for whatever mistake that he was making or doing. There's consequences to be paid around here. You don't take the trash out. You don't do this. You don't do what I asked you to do. You got consequences to pay for. And yo, I might make your ass get up and run. And he's gonna get up and run. Trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. Shout out to the chat. Y'all going in the chat. Hit them likes, hit the 100s. Y'all already know it helps with the growth of the show. Episode 270. We 30 away from 300, y'all. That's crazy. And again, I appreciate y'all support. We on the road to 20,000 subscribers. And we hit 13. I think we're on 13, if I'm not mistaken. So make sure y'all continue to share the live and show that love as well. We're on every Wednesday, every Sunday. We got Maria in the building. Shout out to Maria, man. Appreciate Maria for tapping and hit them likes, hit the 100s. How you doing, sir? I'm in Paris. So Bruno Mars. My album drops with Tony Braxton this fall. Johnny Gill. That's what's up. Shout out to Maria doing her thing, man. I miss my father. Fact. Shout out to Maria, man. And shout out to her father, Christopher Rivera, that used to rock in on the show, one of our day ones, man. Shout out to Vic. We got my dog Vic in the building, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. One of my other day ones, man. Where is she? When she is. Harrier. Shout out to fam. I tried my dad, but I didn't try my mom. She said, I brought you into this world. I'll take you out of this world. See, me personally, I definitely, you know, and what I mean by try my mother, you know what I'm saying? Like I talk slick to my moms. You know what I'm saying? I talk slick to my moms. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, I used to talk slick. I'm like, she like, oh word? Or all right, cool. Keep that same energy. When I tell your father, whoa. Like, why you want to go with it? You know what, mom? I was tripping. I'm sorry. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. You know what I mean? Keep it cool. Keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? You telling that man you choosing violence. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? So as a kid, I always had that energy because my pops was kind of crazy. I'm telling you. And I think it was because we were struggling financially, but that man was crazy. So it's nothing more scarier than I'm gonna tell your father. I'm gonna tell your daddy. Like, whoa. Chill. So for sure. See, but I look at that differently. When mother said, I brought you into this world and I can take you out. You carry me. See, I'm the slick mouth child. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he kept it real cool because he got the really good ass whooping years. You know what I'm saying? Like he was around when my pops was young, my mom's was young, so he got them Olympic style ass whoopings. You feel me? I came a little later. I'm 11 years younger. You know what I'm saying? I'm the mouthy younger sibling. You know what I'm saying? I tried them. You know what I mean? Like what? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna run a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the younger sibling. You feel me? So yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get the good ass whooping years. You know what I'm saying? They was a little older, a little slower in their prime. And I knew it too. You know what I'm saying? I knew it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Fab. I tried with that. What was I brought you into this world? I brought you like with fathers, we like and I tell the kids like, hey man, show your fathers some love. You didn't have to be here. You could have been in a napkin. You could have been on the floor. You could have been swept up. You could have been in the toilet. You could not been here. Or you could have been in another lady, dog. I'll bust these nuts. Your mama, it could have been another lady, dog. You know what I'm saying? They the carriers. They carried you. You know what I'm saying? But always respect the mothers too. But that was just me growing up. I remember I said something to my mother like, I was like 6. And I said, yo, ma, I don't love you. Because she didn't buy me some sort of toy or whatever. I was like, I don't love you no more. And I just walked away. And my mother was crying. And my brother came in the next room like, yo, what you say to mommy? I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, yo, keep it cool, bro. I see that look in your eye. That vein popping. I'm gonna just go in there and apologize. Now, I mean, like, I'm just tight. You feel me? Just keep it cool, big bro. You know what I mean? So, and that's this man right there. You know what I'm saying? Got him tattooed on my arm and everything. You know what I mean? So, it's just a funny thing when you're the older child and you get them good ass whooping years. Then their parents get older. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna chase you around. They're not gonna rock you up. You know what I mean? So that is for sure. If you can, that means if you can hum, you can hear me. Yeah, I love that one. If you can hum, you can hear me. That's a fact. Like, huh? Like, what you mean? Keep it cool. That used to be my line. Yo, keep it cool. And I always could figure my mother out. So I just go like behind her and hug her. And I'm like, yo, mom. And I can see her, I can see it working. Like, oh yeah, she back on my side. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very calculated second child. You know what I'm saying? Very calculating younger sibling. You know what I mean? If I got my ass beat by my mom and my dad and my grandma, my grandpa, and my grandpa from both sides. Yeah, my grandparents. See, one set of my grandparents was gone, and then the other set of my grandparents, they was too old. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't. See, that's why again, like I was very observant as a little one. You know what I'm saying? Why the older folks is old. They not putting no ass whooping on your boy. You know what I'm saying? They too old. They're like both of my grandparents was like my grandmother and grandfather was like in their 70s by the time I was a little kid. So you know what I mean? I could do no wrong. You know what I mean? So but yeah, that's just younger sibling type of shit right there. I'm one of 7, 5 sisters and 1 brother. See, yeah, the older sibling get them good parent ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? Cause they in their prime. You know what I mean? See, I had my daughter when I was 18, 19. So those are good ass whooping years. You know what I'm saying? I didn't let much slide. You know what I'm saying? Good ass whooping years. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I have more children, which I do want more children, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit more cerebral. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be as many ass whoopings. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get that. Uh, to my Puerto Ricans in the small apartment in Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? A good ass whooping is a good ass whooping is. And as a parent, you got to decipher how you do that. You know what I'm saying? But my mother had a mean 3-piece combo. You know what I'm saying? I faced that fury one time, but that was nothing compared to what my brother got. One time, my brother did something slick, and I told him when he got in the house, "Yo, mommy, no," and she finna to give you a beating. He's like, "Whatever." I'm like, "Yo, mommy's gonna give you a beating." So when he get in the house, food all cooked up, mother being super nice to him. I'm like, he looked at me like, "Told you." Get in the room, chilling. He gets in the shower. Soon as he get in the shower, all you hear is right? And mind you, my brother's like 16, 17 at the time. So I come out the room and I'm seeing my mother hitting him with the Brett Favre type of, you know what I'm saying? My mother had a good snap on that belt. And she tearing that ass up. My brother's like doing all this right here. And I'm behind my mom's going like, I told you. Like, I told you. Like, I was trying to look out. You know what I'm saying? I told you. He thought it was cool. Because mom made him something to eat. Got the good meal. Got the good, juice waiting for him. After he ate that, got in the shower, thought shit was sweet. You know what I'm saying? Mom's had the good ass whooping years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I didn't have to get none of that. You know what I'm saying? I took the 3-piece combo. I'd rather get that than that slavery beating that my brother got back in 1990. Like that was something crazy right there. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic and time to rap. Rapper Trump, excuse me, rapper Turk from the Hot Boys, rapper Turk from the Hot Boys uh, is performing and doing a tour at all Wingstop locations. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. I'm not being funny when I say this, y'all. He's doing a tour and shows in front of and inside of Wingstop locations. At different Wingstop locations. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Maria. She said, she said, got mom's hands with the rings on it. That's a fact. That's a fact. My mom's champion ass beater right there. Got my ass beat by a flip flop. We all got them stories, right? We all got them stories. My mother hit me with an ice tray, and the ice tray just broke on my face. Yeah. See, that's abuse. That's child abuse. You know what I'm saying? But now that's child abuse. But back then, like that's just whooping ass. You know what I'm saying? This is whooping ass. Trying to keep young boys in line. You know what I'm saying? Ebony Turk said he got kicked off the Cash Money tour because they tried to short his money. So he went to and created his own stage. You can't do nothing but respect it 100%. I mean, I could respect the hustle. I could respect the hustle, but uh Turk at one point was like a serious known rapper. He's still a known rapper, right? He's still a known, even though he's a veteran rapper, meaning he's been around for a while. I remember when I was a kid and the Hot Boys was popping, it was popping. It just don't look good. I gotta be honest, it don't look good. It doesn't look good that he's doing shows at what you call him at Wingstop. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. He's outside, like I seen a video where he's outside of Wingstop performing, got the boom box, and he got his camera. Okay, I can respect it, but I'm pretty sure he could do at least 2 to 3 steps up and get a much bigger support. I'm pretty sure he could do club shows and fill out the club. I'm pretty sure he could fill out 100, 200 people and people would take him serious and take his catalog serious. To do it in front of Wingstop, it makes it seem like he's a struggle artist. I'm not gonna lie. And in my opinion, I never viewed him as a struggle artist because the Hot Boys was the Hot Boys at one point. So even if it's not the same as it once was, I'm pretty sure he could do at least a 100, 200 club and sell it out and get the real support of the fans by people coming to see him perform. He will get the advantage of selling merchandise, taking pictures, all of that stuff. All that encompass would make for a very good living. So even if he was kicked off that tour, a Wingstop, like I've never seen a Wingstop tour where he's actually going to Wingstop locations and performing, whether it's inside or outside. I just don't see as that being a successful formula that's going to help him continue to, be on his business when it comes to being an artist. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So me personally, I wish Turk all the best. It doesn't look good, but again, I wish him all the best. I have to be sincere when I say that. That's like saying Master P going to Chuck E. Cheese. That's what I'm saying. Like it just sounds crazy. It's not a good look. Like and Master P was one of them dudes. He still to me, Master P is I wouldn't well let me I get the mode that you're saying, but Master P and Turk is two different levels. But I get the mode that you're saying, right? Because there's gonna be people that watch this after and be like, oh, y'all compare Turk to Master P. No. Master P is just he's one of them ones, right? But again, because we look at Master P in a certain elk, and for him, if he did something like this, it'd be like, yo, what is he doing? Is he all right? Is he good mentally? Because Master P can and always have staying power. He's had he has an ability to do music and sell the music as well. So I mean, with Turk doing this, um, somehow, some way, if he leveraged his views into the finances, then okay, maybe. But outside of the views only going to go but so far. Having a legacy is way more important than the views. This is why I say being a legend, being a legend, you don't have to be relevant or quote unquote relevant, because legends are always relevant. You don't have to do things that are trendy because you're a legend. You can use some of the principles of what's going on in the trendy world, but you could use it into a real legendary type of aspect. So I just don't think this is a good look for Turk, me personally. I really don't. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Hit the likes, hit the 100. That does help with the growth of the show. I just read that Mystical got 20 years. Yeah, he got 20 years. He was I didn't want to believe it, and now I understand why Master P didn't use mystical music in the verses, and why he doesn't talk about mystical period when he does interviews. And mystical was so pivotal to No Limit and their success in music, because like mystical was such a great artist, to be honest with you. But his dealings in real life is real nasty work. He's doing 20 years. This is his third gape charge. If y'all know what I mean by gape, right? Um, and this is nasty work. To me, if somebody, if you mention it, one time, that's like, whoa, you got mentioned in gape, but that could also be a lie and a rumor, right? So when people names are mentioned in that realm, we give it a mulligan for real, unless like we have visual proof, but we give the mulligan mainly because this person could be lying, and we've seen cases where people lied on people just to defame them and to bring them down, right? But then there's people that actually have done it and we don't know, right? So we give the mulligan, like, all right, first one, it could be a lie, it could be true. We don't know. We hope it's not true, but we give you the mulligan. We heard it twice. It's like, yo, why your name is in gate conversations twice? Three, yo, why is he not in jail yet? The one is enough. Two is crazy. Three, it's like, dog, you better get him up out of here before we do. So the fact that he doing 20 years, I believe he got 20 years. You say he got 20 years. Um, or for three, you said four. She said four. This is the fourth. See, that's to me four is too. That's too many. That's too many. One, and even one, when we know that's crazy, right? To gape somebody, that's crazy. But again, it could go either way because we don't know for sure, right? And when you get to two, it's like, dog, like we gotta address this. Three is like, yo, get him up out of here. You said four. So this is the fourth one that we know about. So can you imagine all the years that he was mystical and his uprise? Could that been a thing too? And mind you, in those earlier times when people are stars and celebrities and they on their uptick, people don't want to believe it. And now that we have social media, we get information easier. We get hardcore proof sometime too throughout social media. So can you imagine before social media when this was word of mouth and people would say things and it just kind of went away, right? So the fact that mystical, and again, mystical was a part of, the New Orleans movement when it comes to, No Limit, Cash Money. So yeah, that's to me, that's crazy all in itself. Wow, I didn't know that. No, I did hear about that. I did hear about that, excuse me. But I didn't know it was four instead of three. Because my first thought immediately when he got to 20 years was the fact that it's like, yo, because immediately I thought it was three and not four. I said, yo, three, they should have been got him up out of here. 3? That's crazy. That's crazy. You said 4. Whew. That is nasty work. I just read that, Miss Cool. Y'all saw I got that. Yeah, so to me, that's nasty work. That's nasty work. You got to get people up out of here that's like that. Like I'm a big I'm a big fan of this show called Fatal Attraction. It's a show, and it is amazing how people it always starts off these people are whirlwind romance, and they was in love, and this lady was looking for a man like this all her life, and he was looking for somebody to settle down with, and it always ends the same way. Always ends the same way. He got shot or she got stabbed up. They found out somebody was cheating and they was doing this and somebody like it's just a crazy show. And then when they break it down, it's like, yo, I seen one lady have a kid with this man, love on this man, be married to this man, and then have a whole relationship at her job. And then when they come home for the holidays, right in front of the parents' house, the dude she cheating on him with shoots the boyfriend all up or the husband all up, right? Mind you, they got the police camera the same night. The police cam shows this woman crying and just in agony that she just lost her husband. Come to find out, she set that up. She was like, "Yo, he coming outside right now." Not even on her phone. She thought she was slick. They retracted her messages off of Snapchat because Snapchat in 24 hours, the messages is gone. Somehow, some way, they retracted those messages like, "Yo, he coming outside." But on the body cam on a couple police body cams, it showed her going through it all. You like, damn, and she set that all up. So it's amazing how these things get out of control when it comes to relationships. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. A judge awards Love and Hip Hop Carly Red 18,000 a month in temporary spousal support from her ex-husband. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, a judge awards Love and Hip Hop Carly Red 18,000 a month in temporary support and temporary spousal support from her ex-husband. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. So the conflict is that the couple was actually married in 2024. The thing is, they was only married for 6 months. They got a divorce within 6 months, but the legal battle basically ramped up in February 2025 in a domestic dispute, which led to the ex-husband putting hands on Carly Red. Allegedly, that's what he was arrested for a simple. They say simple battery, but it's alleged for striking her. Um, the ruling that the 18,000 a month, she's actually getting 18,500 and change in temporary spousal support, um, also comes with a strict no contact of her ex-husband. So if she contacts the ex-husband in any type of way, she can actually lose that spousal support, even if it's temporary. The twist is, shortly after the financial victory that she received the 18,000 a month, Carly Red was arrested on April 4th on 2025 and was charged with first degree burglary, right? She allegedly broke into her ex husband's home and took some personal belongings, including a watch and his birth certificate. She was released on 15,000 bond. Wow. So to get 15,000 and 15,000 bond in order to have no contact with this man outside of the divorce proceedings. I would love to know what y'all think about this in the chat. Again, hit them likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. If this is your first time tuning in, tapping in, I am Ashley Lovechild. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast? Me personally, when I think of this situation, if you're married for 6 months, you get divorced. They really have to change the marriage laws around. I think it should be extremely hard to get married and extremely easy to get divorced. And this will give a better off-putting on what the marriage should be built on. And if it's not built on that, then it's not going to be successful. Now, even then, it's still through all that, a marriage can still fail within months because you realize, like, yeah, I don't really like you like that. I don't really love you like that. But the fact that you could be married for 6 months and receive 18,000 a month. There was the 18,000 a month, 18.5, 18.5 in monthly spousal support is crazy work, even if it's for the time being, even if it's temporary. Because the final spousal support could be more, could be less, and it could be the same. 6 months. Like, let's be real. In 6 months, you didn't help that man do anything. And that goes for women too. If you're a woman that makes over a certain amount of money, and this man that you marry don't make a certain amount of money, in 6 months y'all get divorced, he shouldn't be getting 18.5 nothing. So the fact that she's getting 18.5 is crazy to me. What did she help the man build in 6 months for her to receive that? What type of lifestyle do he have her accustomed to where he pays that? Because quite naturally, when you make a certain amount of money and you get divorced, your spouse or your former spouse have to kind of have the same life as they had with you. 6 months is not enough time to establish that type of credit line. Now, I can understand this person's been married to him for 10, 15 years, 20 years for sure, and they are accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle. It's not going to be the same, but it's not going to be in dire need, right? 6 months. 6 months. Where they do that at? I want to know where they got, well, it doesn't matter where they got married because I'm not taking that plunge myself. We're going to be life partners at best. And if that's not good for you, have a good day. We don't need to be married to be protected with each other. There's things called policies. We can get policies within each other. God forbid something happened to me, we all taken care of, right? So you don't need marriage for real. Because marriage to me is between man, woman, and God. We don't need the courts. But marriage in this company is a business. How do 6 months equivalent to 18.5 thousand in spousal support, even if it's temporary? And mind you, the only thing that Carly Red has to do for real is not contact him. With 18,000 a month, and that's just from him. That's just from him. But also, if he's required to give her 18,000 a month, this is saying that I'm not calling her broke by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know this lady. I don't know what she do. But anytime they grant you a certain amount of money, that means you don't make a certain amount of money. So let's say she makes 3 grand independently on her own. So you get 3 grand added with 18.5. That's well over 21,000 a month. Good enough to live any type of life. You can live basically anywhere you want. You can drive anything you want to drive. You can entertain yourself. You can live your life happily. 18K a month. To live a good life and to be considered upper class, 18K a month achieves that by and large, damn near anywhere. So I just think that's crazy for the fact that the math is not mathing. 6 months resulting to 18.5 a month is crazy work to me. It's crazy work. Shout out to Maria. Shout out to Ebony, married for less than a year and walking away with 18 a month. Temporary support question. The hustle is unmatched. That's a fact. That's a fact. And it makes me question him too. It makes me question him too. What type of dude? And again, like, to share your resources to a person that's known to have multiple or have had public affairs. This is what you sign up for. I can't blame Carly Red for this. She after her hustle. She hustling. She hustling. And let's say she fall out of love with dude in 6 months. It don't work like that, but okay, let's say she did that. Cool. This is on you, bro. This is on you. You have to see behavior. This is not the first time you've seen this woman. She's been on TV for the better half of a decade. You've seen her for a while. And you've seen her behavior before you. You've seen her behavior before you. I'm pretty sure there's other things that you can do with 18.5 per month. Even if the 18.5 don't hurt you, I'm pretty sure that 18.5, you can find better use for that. I put this on you and not knowing the game. So I can't blame Carly Red for this, but at the same time, when people got money, that don't mean they know the dating game. They know the hustle. People are out here hustling. And you gotta mind it. You gotta peep what's going on. Even if it's her fault or his fault, either way. It could have been the fact that allegedly he put his hands on her. Carly Red was like, yo, I'm out of here, yo. It could have been that. She could have been a good wife to him, holding it down, keeping it tight, and he put his hands on her, and she like, yo, I'm out of here. That could have been it. Could have been. I don't know them. It could have been it. Again, I still put that on you, bro. What is you doing? To jeopardize your position because why? You was emotional. And for men, we do need learning curves. We do need situations so we can learn from it and move forward and be better and be stronger. And this is it. If this in fact though is true. But that 18K per month is for sure true for temporary spousal support. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Wrap. Big deal or nah? Big deal or nah? A video went viral of Lauryn Hill in her 20s grabbing random men private parts and looking inside their pants, looking at the package. Is it a big deal or not? Is it cringe or just the time period? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, big deal or not, a video went viral of Lauryn Hill back in her 20s grabbing random men, private areas, and looking in their pants at the package. Pause. Is it cringy or just the period, just the time period, or or big deal or not? Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, if you want to tune in to me outside of YouTube and off the show, hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. Me personally, those early 90s, mid 90s was just a different time. And I honestly believe we all have a past. We all have a past. So is it a big deal or nah? I mean, if I'm the dude, if I'm one of those dudes, and and I'm a grown man at that time. If I was a grown man at that time, and finance Lauren Hill grabbed me and looked inside, I'm gonna be a bit turned on. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, hey, fool la la la. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. We're gonna have a good time. Me personally, if I'm the dude, I got a hotel. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. The miseducation my ass. You about to get educated around here for sure, and you gonna educate me on some things too, Miss Hill. That's just me if I'm the dude. But looking at it, it is cringy for sure. We live in a different time. We live in a different time. If we looked at the 90s, we looked at the 80s and 70s and some of their behavior, we're going to look at it as cringy as fuck. But it is a sign of the time. It is. Because she wasn't the only female doing that. Not just like regular female doing that, but celebrity females was doing that too. Other celebrity females was doing that as well. So me, if I'm the guy and that happened to me, I'm turned on. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be like, yo, I'll take you to Zion right now. But hey, man, that's just me. But looking at it as a grown man and seeing that situation, I have to be honest. if that was a dude doing that to women, let's say, for example, instead of Lauryn Hill, this is LL Cool J walking up to women. Mind you, LL Cool J is married. But let's say if LL Cool J was walking up to women in the 90s, 2000s, opening their bra to look at their breast, their nipple, and opening, their underwear to see what's going on, or grab them at the crotch or something like that. The internet, they will be flaming him. They will be flaming him on a whole nother level. They will be like, "Oh my God, I didn't know he was like that. I didn't know he was this cringy. Like, who does that?" Like, he would get flamed right now, for sure. And I'm just using him as an example. Let's say Big Daddy Kane. Let's say Tupac. Matter of fact, let's say Tupac. Let's say Tupac Shakur was going around in the 90s when he was around and looking, grabbing women and looking in their pants to look at their lady box. Y'all would think that's cringy as hell too. Y'all would, and y'all would get on him about that. And mind you, he's gone, but you would look at him crazy. I mean, you look at artists crazy based on the lyrics that they used to say, like some of Biggie Smalls' lyrics didn't age well, right? And we were like, why would he say that in 2026? But in 1990, the rhyme in itself, at that time, people got it, and it was creative at that time. In 2026 is like, yo, what is there to get? Like, that sound cringy as hell, right? On certain bars that he used to drop. So again, if this wasn't Lauryn Hill, if this was Tupac, if this was Will Smith, anybody that was popping in those early 90s or mid 90s, and they was going around doing that to women, going up to them, grabbing their lady box, opening their pants to look at the strip or whatever the case may be, it would be a whole problem. It would be a whole problem. Even today, even if that's something that they used to do, they would still look at that person like, yo, what is really up to? Like, what is really up with you? What is really up with you? But for the ladies could do it, and it's cool. Because again, the reason why it would be cool, because the guys, like, we wouldn't care for real. I just said it. If I'm one of the guys in the video and she came up to me and grabbed my meat and looked inside my drawers, I'm like, yo, where's the party? It's time to party. I'm bringing the Diddy oil. They take that edition. It's gonna happen. But hey, man, like, if that was a dude, it would be a whole problem. I'm just saying. Shout out to my dude Vic in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. Ashley, what's up? That's my dude right there, man. Appreciate you as always. But shout out to Ebony. Before anyone tax Coley Red, remember he was arrested for domestic violence against her. He should kept his hands off to himself, and now he has to pay charges to the double standard as well. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, like that's all the way crazy. I think you were talking about the Carly Red situation. You were talking about the Carly Red situation. Yeah. But yeah, man, like, again, if this was a dude or any entertainer, if they was to do this, it would be a whole problem, and people would have backlash for that artist or entertainer in 2026. You won't even look at them the same. Obviously, Lauryn Hill's going to get the grace because she's a lady, right? And men would, we kind of like that aggressive shit. Like, I'm just saying, like, so that's why we're not going to look at it like that, but it is what it is. Shout out to my dude Vic. They can't stop. We won't stop. Stop me. Yeah, I mean, can't stop, won't stop. Never. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vic. Can't stop, won't stop. Ebony, this is a big deal. Assault is assault, regardless of the decade who did it, uh, or what gender they are. They can't. They just can't violate people for a video bit. Yeah, I mean, that's accurate in itself, Ebony. That's accurate, but at the same time, I get the time. The 90s was a different time. The early 2000s was a different time. People say and said and did things at the time, and it was just cool, and people understood what it meant at the time. So now we out of that time. If we see some of that behavior, it's gonna look cringy as hell. It's like, yo, why are they doing that? Why? What makes that funny? What makes that popping? What makes that sexy? So again, I can understand how a man could find an eternal. And mind you, Lauryn Hill is an attractive woman. She's an attractive woman, especially in the '90s and the early 2000s. She was very attractive. Like let's be real. You know what I mean? Like if you think of any of those celebrity famous women who was attractive, if you're a dude, whether you're a celebrity or not, you're going to be turned on by the fact that they're kind of aggressive and they with it. Like and the ladies from the '90s is not even the most aggressive women that we've ever had. Like there's a lady named oh my God, she was on the episode of Martin. I can't think of her name right now, but she used to do songs. Excuse me, she used to do oh my God, it starts with an M. I believe is I don't want to say the wrong name, but she used to do shows and her live shows. She used to ask the men in her live shows, "Hey, do you have a big?" And if the dude say yes, she will walk in the crowd, and she would ask, she will fill their joint and be like, "Oh yeah, he got a big one. Oh yeah, he's small. He lying, y'all." She will go in the crowd and do that. So they not the first to do that. I can't. I know the artist's name, but I don't want to say that. I believe it was it Millie Howard. I could be saying the name wrong. Oh my God, I think it starts with. I think it's Millie Jackson. Millie Jackson used to do that. She used to go in during her shows. She used to go in the stands and fill on men junk. Y'all could go look it up after the show. She used to go do that and let the crowd know, like, yeah, he packing, or yeah, like he, you know what I mean? She used to do that. So this is not the first time we've heard of this, but again, with Lauren Hill's, I would say like how we view Lauren Hill. We put her such in a positive light. We don't look at her like a sexual woman, like a woman that's she want to have a good time too. It's gonna be like, yo, like what's going on? But I definitely agree. If this was a dude, he would look cringe. He would look cringy, and they would be trying to like boycott this person and really put it a part of their behavior. Shout out to Ebony. There's a big deal. Okay, so I got that one. Remember that bald guy on the living single? They used to they used to buy coke down to the street from me. Obi, he said Obi. So you saying Obi used to get that thing, used to get that white? Allegedly, we gotta say allegedly, you know what I'm saying? He said he used to get that white. They human too, little Kim got her stomach pumped for I know she got a stomach pump, but for the actual reason, that's kind of crazy. You know how much of that you gotta have in you. I don't even know if you get your stomach pumped for that. To keep it real, it's a fluid. You know what I'm saying? It's a fluid. We've been producing thick spit, for millennia. Pause. Pause. But y'all get the point that I'm making. But that was definitely a rumor back in the day about Little Kim, for sure. Yeah, for sure. He said, I heard. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that was a definite rumor back in the day when we was little kids. Like, yo, because she was so nasty in the music on purpose because she's selling the image, right? But she probably not all the way like that for real in real life. She probably a little nasty with her dude, but you know what I'm saying? Every young kid had the poster in the house. Y'all know the hardcore poster, Little Kim. Every little kid that liked women had that poster. I'm just saying, iconic. Everyone protects their '90s icons like they could do no wrong. If a modern artist did that today, their career would be over for sure. Because it's a different time today. It's a different time today. No modern artist would get away with that. Maybe women will still get away with that. To be honest with you, if Young Miami was to do that right now, because the reason why you was because it wouldn't surprise me that she would do it. Let's say Tiana Taylor. Let's say if she did that right now, ain't nobody flaming her. Ain't nobody gonna say that's cringy. Ain't nobody gonna say, "Oh, what's she doing?" Because again, it all comes down to the men. As men, if you know what I'm saying, you feeling the junk and looking at my junk, it's like, yo, I got the room right over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why, you know what I'm saying? Why tease yourself when you can please yourself? You know what I'm saying? Let's go, you know what I mean? We go have some real fun. You just looking, you window shopping, you know what I'm saying? Let's take this off the lot, baby. So again, because of men and how we think of sex, again, if a celebrity or a woman that we find attractive grab us and look at us, and like, but if it's somebody we don't find attractive, then that's like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you touching me? You know what I'm saying? So that's what's different with men. If we find a person attractive and they do that, hey, 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 hey. You know what I'm saying? Kill the next 2 hours of your time. Kill the next 2 hours of your time. You know what kills me in the movie Harlem Night? The lady was like, Ray, I wanna do it all night. And he said, yo, what if I give you a good 20 minutes and we go into like a coma? It's like, yo, as you get older, who got a whole night to kill pumping and sweating? You know what I'm saying? A whole night? Nah. A good session is like an hour. That's a good session right there. That's a good, and that's kind of long, a whole hour pumping and drilling for an hour. And if a dude is pumping and drilling for a whole hour, you know what I'm saying? Like you need to refocus. You need to get down with the Kegels. You know what I'm saying? Drink some vinegar or something, cause you know what I'm saying. But 45 minutes, an hour, depending on the dude, hey, that's a good time right there. But a whole night, 3 hours, 4 hours, we ain't doing that. Nah. You might get cracked for a solid 45 minutes. Then in the middle of the night, somewhere in the middle of the night, get a couple of strokes on in there, and we go back to sleep. You know what I mean? That's it. The party's over. Go to bed. What Angela Bassett told the dude in American Dream, go to bed. Go to bed. Ain't no more pumping. Go to bed. All right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic in Time to Rap. Random people are filming themselves trying to have altercations with known streamers. Let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Random people are filming themselves trying to have altercations with known streamers. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Shout out to my dog Vic. He's laughing. If girl allegedly right. Nah, facts. You go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Go to bed. You know what I mean? After you get it cracking. But again, random people are filming themselves trying to have an altercation with known streamers. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, I think it's extremely corny. I think it's extremely corny. I've been seeing all over my TikTok that random people that we don't know, they going up to known streamers that have, thousands of fans or followers, millions of followers, and looking to pick a fight, looking to do something, looking for that quick, viewership. And it's such a dangerous game. There's a saying, when you go looking for the devil, he's going to answer you at one point. No, excuse me. When you go knocking on the devil's door, the devil will answer. And this is why having fathers in your life is important. Because having a father in your life will let you know that there's something greater than you out here. And if you let your emotions lead you, you can lose your life. You can learn a harsh lesson by missing an opportunity, or you can be in jail because you're operating out of emotion. You're operating out of a space that's not manly. And you're not looking for attention that you already get just to get. This is all attention seeking type of things. And that just kind of lets you know how people grow up. Some people don't realize, or they have never gone through a period where they mattered. And what that means is that there's a lot of people out here that been to elementary school, junior high school, even college, and nothing that they did mattered to other people. So at some point, they looking for some sort of attention or validation if they can't find validation in themselves. Obviously, I'm not talking about people that have validations in themselves. I'm talking about people that look for validation in other people, and nothing that they did, even into their adulthood, mattered. The universe haven't gave them their season. So you have people that's looking for this type of attention, and this is bad attention. And I've said this before in previous episodes. Anything that's ill begotten is doomed, is rooted to be doomed. Anything that's ill begotten is rooted to be doomed. Why? Because this got built off of things that's unfortunate. That's why I don't subscribe to fame. What is fame? Fame is something that's infamy. You got to be infamous. Most people are not famous for what they do. They're infamy. They're like their infamy is based on being fame or being relevant or being current. It's not based in their skill. So when you have people trying to pick fights, trying to have altercations with people that have a big following, just to say that they did something to that person, and now to create a platform based on something that's ill begotten, is rooted for doom, and it screams corny. And it screams that you was never important to other people because you don't find validation in yourself and you look for validation in other people. You're not even selling anything. You don't even have a product to promote. You're not even giving goodness for the humanity. So when people are doing this is exactly what that is. Shout out to Ebony, shout out to Vic. The desperation for a viral moment is pathetic. People really out here risking battery charge or getting humbled on camera just for 15 seconds or TikTok fame. Facts. Shout out to Ebony. Y'all hit them likes, hit the 100s. That helps with the growth of the show. Shout out to Ebony. Cooking in the chat. Shout out to my dog Vic. Make sure whoever takes you to the dance, that's who you leave with. I mean, when you look at this type of situation, you have to be careful. You have to be careful because when things are ill begotten, you got the fame now. So let's say you was able to have an altercation with this known streamer, and now you have fame, right? People just want to know you for that. If you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to sell music, you're trying to have some sort of brand, is done. It's ill begotten already because your infamy is not based on your talent. So now that you have the recognition, oh yeah, he slapped such and such, who's a known brand, a known streamer to have thousands or millions of fans. Now what? Now what? So now you have an energy surrounding your creativity that's not rooted in positivity. And what do that happen? Random people could come up to you now. Random people that could come and want to do something to you. And what makes that scary, you don't know who they are. They just coming out of woodwork because they seen you do something to somebody else and they took it personal. But you don't know who they are because it's ill begotten. That's the purpose of that. That's the mantra of, not the mantra, but that's like the foundation. When something is ill begotten, it's doomed for failure. Just because you're known for something and it's not rooted in positivity, guess what? That it comes with an energy that's not going to be positive. Nobody should want to be known just to be known, even if it's rooted in negativity. What's the purpose of being known if you can't walk around in your neighborhood or can't walk around at the local mall or your local streets without somebody saying something negative to you? And what they're saying that's negative to you, it could jeopardize your life. It could jeopardize their life. So when you have these people that are walking around and doing this, it's something that's very scary. Shout out to Vic. I remember the girl that slapped of the girlfriend mom and then got smoked. Exactly. I remember that. I remember that the girl smacked the mom at least like 4 times. You're like, you know, I was gonna smack your mother, right? Pop. I told her I was gonna smack your mother, right? Pop. So and she kept smacking. She was smacking the soul out this lady, and the fact that she, got dealt with, I'm not surprised. It was ill begotten. You go looking for the devil, he will answer. Trust. He will answer. Infamous, yes. Facts, facts. That video went super viral, and in that moment, I'm pretty sure she felt strong. She felt powerful. Powerful. She felt empowered. Nah, nah. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't look for anybody to lose their life, but at the same time, you sign up for the energy that you get majority of the time. I can understand that some people, they get picked on, and even that, like, I don't want to say people are actually be picked on, but you have to have or gain a certain type of a strength about yourself that people don't think that they could take advantage of you. That's one. That's something that's individual based. Two, at the same time, when you are and move and act a certain way, people gonna try it. They're gonna try it. People gonna try you if you even Mother Teresa. People gonna try it. But at the end of the day, when something of this ilk, the energy that you're asking for, it will be returned tenfold. That's why when you see rappers and they talking about, yeah, like I'm about to gunplay, I'm about to gunplay, I'm about to gunplay. All right, cool. That energy gonna come right around. Like, oh, you say you about to gunplay, right? You don't know about these parts because this right here is rooted in destruction, jail culture. Y'all think I'm crazy. I'm serious. This is jail culture for real. So again, for those who are looking for altercations with streamers to get bubbling, to get popping, to build their brand, it's whack. It's whack. Find another way. It's super corny. It's super whack. And each streamer is different. Some streamers are into boxing, fighting, not into boxing or fighting. They just into just being streamers. It's just super whack. Like, you're not getting no points for that. It's one thing if they say something crazy to you and they're, they standing up. Because I believe, regardless, when you're a man, if you talk crazy to somebody, you're responsible for your own action. It doesn't matter if you're not about that action or not. You shouldn't be talking crazy. Period. So now when a man step to you based on your actions, you sign up for that. Regardless if you like that or not. Don't be talking. Keep it humble. So I do believe that as well. So shout out. Uh he said, yup, that fame lasts about a week. That's a fact. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to Ebony. Getting scary. These randoms are lurking in Discord servers and tracking coordinates just to jump out with a camera in streamer's face. It's straight up stalking. Facts. Shout out to Luke Skywalker. Hit the likes, hit the 100s. It helps with the growth of the show. He's being weird. Um, yeah, I'm not into dudes, bro. I'm not into dudes. If you're here to support, support. But if you're gonna be weird, it's not hitting, bro. It's not hitting. He over here trying to flirt. I'm cool. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. A former NBA player and great, Paul Pierce, says streamers are pricing out the market of sex. Paul Pierce also saying that basically that because you see streamers basically paying women to do is pricing out the market of the situations. Again, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. If y'all agree with Paul Pierce or not, let me know what y'all think about that in the chat. Me personally, if I'm Paul Pierce, I'll keep it cool on this one. I'll keep it cool. I wouldn't speak on anything with money regarding paying for women. And I don't know Paul Pierce to know that he paying for women, but there is an instance where he was on live and he was on a podcast or whatever the case may be, and he did make mention that the women that was with him is paid for the night, and he found them at some sort of service where you can have women accompany you somewhere, some sort of I forget the name of it, but some sort of service where he had women with him. That's why I would keep it cool if I'm Paul Pierce, because the history of NFL players, excuse me, NBA players, like let's keep it real, like you don't. These dudes got millions of dollars, and these women are not there because you winning the good looking contest. They did because you have money, and money can make any man, excuse me, make anybody look good, and money gives options. So, like, let's keep it all the way real. Is streamers really pricing it out, or are they using a pattern that was seen and established before them? Streamers is a new thing. Some streamers are getting money. Not even all streamers is getting money. Some streamers is getting money. And the streamers that are getting money that I see all have a girlfriend. All have a girlfriend. So the other ones who are single and is doing their thing, it's just patterns that they seen other people that came before them. In our neighborhood, you had to be a rapper or athlete to make it out the hood. So with that being said, it's only patterns and a game plan that they seen before them. And we all know a lot of NBA players that price up the price of box. I'm not sure if Shaq said it or if Corinne Steffens said it. I think I'm saying her name, aka Superhead. I believe she said that Shaq paid her 2,500, and this was like in the '90s to crack. So like, let's keep this real. Like a lot of NBA players, a lot of athletes in general, y'all paying women to crack. Been paying women to crack. And the funny part is, if you have decent looking, like you won't have to. Like I already know the game. I know that there's women lined up at the hotel, but they hustling. They on their money. They about their money. Yeah, you could get this tonight. You could get this right now. You got some money? Like that's very real. They are very available at these games. Again, I have friends that played in the NFL. I have friends that did play in the NBA and played in different sporting levels of pro sports. And there'll be women at the hotel, even on their level, and they ready to go. I'm just saying, like, so for Paul Pierce to be a Hall of Famer that he is, and to have a career that he's had, and to have the career earnings that he's had, and then he revealed that, hey, I got companionship that I paid for to be here, to be in the vicinity, and you know what I'm saying, and this, that, and the third. It's like, and you talking about somebody else pulling up the price of ladies. This is behavior that was already established by y'all. So how can you be mad at that? Now, is there a thing amongst some women that engage in that type of lifestyle that they feel like they're obligated to something? Of course, just like the women previously, they feel like they was obligated to something. That's why they put themselves in a position to be seen by you, whether it was you personally or other players, whether it's NFL, NBA, the NHL, all the different pro leagues. They put themselves in position to be seen. And if you think about it, if she get a hustle on the right way, she could really make a life for herself because y'all providing it. So to be mad at streamers, that's a bit lazy, dog. That's a bit lazy. And it must be a scary thing as a man to not be confident in yourself that every time you deal with a woman that you have to put down. And mind you, as a man, we always got to put down for the simple fact that, we get gas, we got to get a fit, you know, even if we Netflix and chill, there's no food in there. I got the little movie cracking. So you're always paying, but you're not paying for the pleasure, is the point that I'm making. And if you're paying, you're actually paying her to leave, but you're still paying. And the price for her to leave, opposed to if a woman really like you, that price would just be the gas to come pick her up and to bring her back to your spot. The price will only be the your haircut or your fit. It won't be here's an extra 2,500 for your time, which is crazy because she won't make that anywhere else but you. So you paying her for her time, and her time is not even worth that. So you mad at streamers? Yeah, I'm not jacking that at all. I'm not jacking that at all. Again, that's learned behavior from the people that they preceded them. And the people that preceded them was athletes, rappers, anybody that's in position that could pay those prices. Simple and plain. So I can't see how Paul Pierce is mad at streamers for driving the price of what's a better way to say this? Vagina. I'm kind of befuddled when he says that. That's kind of weird when he says that. And the crazy thing is we live in a market today where it's like the price done went down. So how's it up? How's it up? When you got a lot of dudes who are out here that's like, yo, I'm not even going to waste my time unless a woman is real, meaning like I'm looking for something real, a real connection. So you got less dudes buying it. So how's it up? How's it up? When something is not produced, excuse me, when something is not being bought often, the price don't go up. It go down. That's how it works. When something is not bought as often, the price don't go up. It goes down. So I definitely don't agree with Paul Pierce. Shout out to Ebony, Paul Pierce, talking about paying for attention and messing up the market is hilarious. Considering he's literally got fired from ESPN for streaming himself on Instagram live, doing exactly what with the exotic dancers. I'm just saying. And they call me crazy, right? Used to call me Batman, now they call me Crazy Joe. So again, I don't agree. I don't agree. Um, and I've always thought of this when it came to women too. Every man or each man has his own superpower with women. And what do that mean? So what works for me won't work for him, right? It could be my face. His superpower could be how he talks. Another guy's superpower could be the way that he smells. Another guy's superpower could be, the body in itself, abs, pecked up, everything, right? We all got to have our different superpowers that we have to use in order to deal with women. And just because he paid, that don't mean I will pay or somebody else will pay. We all have our different superpowers regarding women. So I'm just saying I don't agree with Paul Pierce regarding that all in itself. All right, y'all been super amazing. Y'all been rocking out with me. Again, I'm on every Sunday, every Wednesday. Yeah, every Sunday, every Wednesday at 10:30. I appreciate y'all for tuning and tapping in. It's the Cannon Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I am Ashley Lovechild. I'm doing a special episode this Tuesday and Wednesday, but the Tuesday episode will be the NBA draft episode. So make sure y'all come back, tune in, have a good time, and we're going to talk about the NBA draft. My Brooklyn Nets, I implore you, do not mess this up. I will flame y'all for the next 362 days of the year. I will flame y'all if y'all mess this up. There's no way the Knicks just won a championship. And shout out to the Knicks because they earned it. But they're a subway ride away. They can't win the NBA Finals and we're trash. And I know the reason why we're trash was by design. We was tanking, like how every other good team who's good now was tanking, right? Cool. Tanking over. Tuesday, y'all better get it right. Y'all better get it right. And even in free agency, get some key pieces. We don't need all the super big names. We need the pieces that we can build. Even if they're not superstar players, great role players that we can start adding the puzzle to this thing. So the pieces to the puzzle. So again, we're doing a Tuesday episode, the NBA draft episode this week for the NBA draft. Again, I want to thank the sponsor of the show, OUV Records. Again, make sure you tune into OUV Records on Instagram at OUV Records and stay tuned to the latest music and merchandise. Also, I want to thank Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentaries, and original content for your viewing pleasure for only $4.99. Again, the website is Button Snaps. That's the word button hyphenated sign in the word snaps.com. Also, again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, tapping in. Episode 270. Again, we're on every Wednesday, every Sunday at 10:30, and I appreciate the love from y'all as well. I feel like I'm missing something, but remember, y'all, do not be an agent of chaos. Do not be a stain. A stain is somebody that try to stand out by being negative. Have the ability to stand out by being positive. Lose that Willie Lynch mindset. Lose that it can only be one mindset. The only op we recognize over here is opportunity. We celebrate life culture over here. Hate has a location. It's just not here. So again, I'm Ashley Lovechild. Hit the likes, hit the 100s. It does help with the growth of the show. And again, I drop videos daily, so continue to engage. I answer in the chat as well, especially if you on something. Even if I disagree, I still show love in the chat. But if you saying something stupid, like we had somebody trying to be stupid right before we're going off, I won't answer. I probably will delete you altogether. And again, I appreciate your support. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, 13,000 right now. So again, continue to take advantage of those memberships and them subscribes. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all this Tuesday night episode, draft episode, this Tuesday at 10:30. I'm out. It might be a little early then. Whenever the draft come on is when we'll come on. It won't be 10:30. Whenever the draft come on is when we'll come on. So be on the lookout for that. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. You want to tap into me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. Love.